TitleMatchNetwork.com.
I got started in the business. I was a four-time All-American at University of Oklahoma as an amateur wrestler, and one-time All-American at football. And I already had the name Dr. Death. I received that name in junior high school when I shattered my nose amateur wrestling. I used to do this throw that I'd grab. It's like a Japanese wizard, and I'd catch it, and when I hit the guy's arm, I was so powerful, I'd hit it, and his arm would hit me in the nose, and it'd break it. And so I'd have to stop the match and everything. Finally, a coach from a different high school, this is in Denver, Colorado, gave me an old-time goalie hockey mask. And it wasn't like the one you see now, Jason, all white and everything. It was just right here and had eye sockets, and then it came around the mouth and it had a little hole and two holes for the nose. And first time I walked out to the wrestling mat, my assistant coach yelled out, Dr. Death Steve Williams. So that's how I got my name into the business, and became into the business was Bill Watts. Used to go to the NCAAs and watch me wrestle, and I already had the name. Nobody just called me Stone Cold Steve Austin or something like that. Thought their coffee was Stone Cold, but I got the name because I earned the name, and been beating up people ever since. And Bill Watts saw me one day and said, "Hey, come on, would you like to become a wrestler on your summertime?" And I never worked because I always trained for two sports, And I said, "Okay, I'll try it." And I went out and made a few bucks, and I kind of liked it.
Were you a big wrestling fan growing up, pro wrestling?
Well, to a point. I lived up in Colorado, and I used to watch the old Minnesota boys.
Gagne.
The Vern Gagne guys come down there now. Gosh, the two brothers who was bald-headed. The Vajan,
Right.
We watched them. I used to watch wrestling. It'd be on Sunday, and we'd have little league football games. We'd watch that, and we'd all get over to the guy's house, watch that, get us all fired up. But never in my life thought I was going to be a pro wrestler.
Who were some of the guys that actually started training you?
Oh boy, these will be a classic ones to pull out. The Turk, Alibaba, they called him, and Billy Starr.
Right.
And really, I'll tell you that they're the ones. They didn't really train me. They showed me how to hit the ropes as hard as I could, and tried to break the ring. And because I'm a shooter, and I was learned to go in here and tear the ring apart, and I was just hurting my ribs and everything else. But the ones I really learned was the partners that I worked with, and the people I worked against, and Ted DiBiase, Terry Taylor, Terry Gordy, Mike Rotunda, Stan Hansen. All of them were technicians. All of them were brawlers. Like I said, I'm not that old, but I'm from the old school, and I know what it took to get back on the ring and what I had to do. And these guys taught me how the technique of it, and how to tell a story. Now that's what pro wrestling's missing. There's not a story. It's a high spot.
Yep. What are your memories of your matches with Terry Taylor?
Just right when you say his name is always and we were just talking about metal. They came up with a TV title, Metal, and they gave it to Terry Taylor, right? And it was, and Terry Taylor was always babyface, good-looking boy and everything, and Dr. Death here, you got long hair, black beard, and scars, 108 stitches in the eye, and split up, all the time. And so they want me to go after this doggone gold medal, TV title championship deal. And I went right out there, just like I do most of my stuff. I'm a straightforward guy, and it was on the pole. I grabbed the pole, and I said, "I'm the champion." Terry Taylor had the mic. He says, "You ain't no champion. You didn't beat nobody for this." I said, "I'm a champion. I've got credentials to prove I'm a champion. I've got rings that been to every major bowl, 4-time Big 8 champion. You know, I can name them all to you, Terry Taylor." And he got a little smart with me, and I smacked him with that doggone medal right in the face, man. You guys probably seen the video. I smacked him right across and left him. I said, "Boy, what a heel that was." I didn't beat nobody for it, but I felt like that medal was my medal, you know.
Right.
And then, you know, I'll tell you what, Terry Taylor's a great individual. He's great for our business. You know, it's a funny thing I got to talk about, but when they called him a Red Rooster, man, that killed him.
Right.
That hurt him, and I don't understand why. But now that I've been through the so-called WWF, and I know how he does take care of other boys in the business that are great, that are credentials that made pro wrestling.
How did you wind up teaming with Bob Sweetan? How did that come about?
Wow, Bob Sweetan,
Mr. Pile Driver.
Wow, that's unbelievable, man. That's I ran the road with him as just like Dickie Murdoch. When I was there, Bill Watts put him up with me, and we worked not against each other, as tag team partners. And I tell you what, that's from the hard school of hard knocks, man. That's one of them. You know, I mean, he was a tough cookie. You know, I was brought up in this business where all the tough guys were. You know, the old saying is, what's on the back of my T-shirt, what Jim Duggan says, "Come on, tough guy." Well, back then, that's what it was. All tough guys. I mean, they were football players, ex-wrestlers, you know, ex-bouncers, this and that. Now you got guys who sit behind a sewing kit being a wrestler, you know what I mean? Or knitting or making quilts, you know. And I mean, they think long hair and cut up bodies, what I tell you, it's a lot different. I mean, for a guy to go out there and tell a story in professional wrestling, tell a story in the ring and grab the people and bring them up and bring them down and control the people, not the people control the boys in the ring, that's when you're doing your job. It's an art. Pro wrestling's an art. Today, it's how much fireworks we can blow off, how many times we can flip off the world, how many times you can grab your jewels, and how many girls get a bigger boob job. That's what pro wrestling is. You know, sex and violence, and that's all. I know that there's a generation right now taking that in. That generation's going to flip-flop.
Oh, yeah, we'll go up and down.
I've seen professional wrestling. While we're talking about it all, I'll tell you about one guy that was a referee for me. Nature Boy Buddy Roberts. He's dead now. He's passed away. And he told me this 10 years ago, at least 10 years ago. He said, "I've seen it go up. I've seen it go down." He said, "It's going to do the same thing. You don't leave this business." He's talking to me. He says, they're always going to need wrestlers to show wrestling in the business.
Right.
The marquee is wrestling. We just got beyond the marquee now. You know, it should be live entertainment, as Vincey says.
Right. TitleMatchNetwork.com